Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. It is Sturch and Gooch, and of course, Wrestling Rob behind the glass. And we are coming to you live, chopping it up from the Cabinet Creation Sports Desk. Look at the shirt. Say what you got to say. The New York Rangers are headed to the next round, baby. Let's effing go. I don't want to say the real word because we're on YouTube right now and we can do that in like a couple minutes, but I'm trying not to get booted. But the Rangers win. Big game, huge game, very excited. It's not good for the health. We'll get into it in a second because of how it actually all played out. We did it. Well, Scoop. Oh, I'll talk about the fraud that is Scoop. He is admitting his fraudness, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first and foremost, if you're looking to support Chop Sports, please do me a favor and head on over to patreon.com/Chop Sports. There is the way to do it. It is a lottery pick. It is a playoff team. It is a dynasty. It is time for you to support Chop Sports as we support all of you each and every day on the show for free. You could do that. Do that for us. That'd be great. Also, if you're watching the game I'm just so, I'm ready to rock. If you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like the video. It seems to me that every video gets the same amount of likes every time. Around the people doing 12 to 14 to 16 people. And sometimes we get over hundreds and hundreds of views and you guys aren't liking the video. And I can't really understand why. It's not hard. It's free. I promise they won't charge your card or anything like that. Just like the damn video. Do us that favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be huge. And of course, if you want to support one of our social media outlets, you can head on over to Dat Chat, brand new social media run by my boy Glenn and his crew. Great social media app that you could talk shit and never get flagged. So it's amazing. It's actually free speech before Musk did it. Speaking of Elon Musk, anything out of the Elon Musk front? Nothing?
Nah, still waiting.
Okay, still waiting. We're on day like 54 talking to Elon Musk. I also want to bring up the barbecue. Before we get into the weekend, the barbecue has been announced. We have a brand new, beautiful flyer for it. If you want to bring that up, Rob, I think, or Chris, or one of y'all, bring that up. It is the Chop Sports Barbecue, first annual. It goes down on Sunday, June the 26th, 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock at Merrill Park in Island, New Jersey. It's literally 4 seconds away from places like Big Shots or anything like that. I'm just throwing one reference point out there, one landmark. I don't know what other places it's by, but we are finally announcing that we have an RSVP list. The information is on the flyer, in which you can send an email to that email. Tell me how many people you're bringing. Tell me if you're bringing anything. We got some booze.
Yeah, there's several ways. There's several ways you could sign up. We're trying to streamline it to one place, but knowing how social media works and how all you guys keep on sending me text messages and there's the Facebook post. Ashley made a Facebook post. You could sign up through email, and then there's also an event created on Facebook. If there's something that you want to bring, i.e., you want to make your mom's famous pasta salad,
I know my bonus mom wants to do something. I told her not to.
We just want to get a sign-up sheet, and if you're going to bring something, mention it so we know when other people ask if they should bring anything, we know to tell them not to bring that. Also, anybody looking to volunteer to help set up, we're going to set up some tables. Anybody that works with us as far as sponsors go, we need to have a conversation because we're going to set up some vendor tables and let you guys kind of show out a little bit to the Chop Sports family.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Janine. We're talking to the Fuscos of the world. We're talking to even former guys, Mike DeCross, the guys that we've worked with already in the past. We want to set it up. It's not going to be a big, a marketing gathering like the Catalina wine mixer. It's just, it's just something for you guys.
Catalina wine mixer.
You like that? We're going to be selling helicopters.
In other words, if you want to bring something, set up a little shop. This goes for everybody. We'll have a conversation
for you.
We'll sort it all out.
Yeah, for sure.
That goes for you too, Sauce. We'll talk.
Yeah. Chris will be taking on all challengers. Potato sack race.
Was your by any chance, were your ears burning around 5 o'clock last night?
No, well, maybe I was.
You were the very heavily topic of conversation at the Sturchio dinner table last night. Reason being is that my dad laughs, my brother laughs, like this guy thinks he can tackle an NFL guy, like they're catching up with the show, and I think it was hilarious. And my dad, I think we've all come to the conclusion that you challenge people to things that you're gonna do good at.
You
never
don't
actually
see
go
me-
out on a limb and say like, Dave, I'll go to a bench pressing competition with you.
Which is the point that I'm making. Every time I do these things, I'm saying these things based on
conviction
and experience, knowing that, I've been challenged my whole life. And I had Kyle in the comments saying, I'm curious if he's trolling or he actually thinks he's athletic. I know I'm fucking athletic, Kyle. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. But yes, of course, I'm not saying that I'm going to challenge Tom Brady to a quarterback contest or beat even you in a free throw contest. I can't shoot, but I will get rebounds board.
I can't shoot.
We'll get them boards.
But anyway, so that is the I was just curious to know if you were buzzing last night.
No, they know me then.
They do. They
got
like I told him, I was like, it's like if you challenge it to a competition that he's not comfortable with, I don't think you would do it. Like I don't think you would take on all challenges. Is what I'm saying.
No,
you smartly, strategically pick out the shit you excel
I
in.
will take on a challenge, even if I know I'm going to lose. But I will let you know that I know I'm going to lose.
Okay.
Prior to,
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk.
He's humble
shit.
defeat.
I'm not going to talk shit prior to an L.
Perfect.
If I know it's coming.
I don't want to get too much into baseball. There's a long season, but the Yankees win again yesterday. They're now 25-9. They're 4.5 up on Tampa. The Mets finally lose a series, so that they're human after all. They sit at 23-13. Both teams, Yankees are up 4.5. The Mets are up 5.5. So both teams still, doing their thing. In fantasy news, I wiped the goddamn floor with toast yesterday. Has anybody ever scored 1,000 points in a week besides the first week where it's like extra?
Yeah. In this format, there has been 1,000-point weeks, but there's been times where
the best ever.
I've had seasons where I didn't lose a matchup. So my teams have been good in this format before, but it is difficult and it is rare. You didn't get there. We were thinking
where?
You didn't get to 1,000.
I got to 1,019.
Oh, Dave did. I didn't look. Damn, bro, you had 50 points out of your 8 o'clock
Let's
game.
go. What? At a hoop?
Go fuck yourself. I was just gonna say maybe we were gonna come up with some type of prize for the first 1,000-point scorer.
We'll
but
come
since
up with
it
it.
already happened, I'm gonna
You can
scrap
just
that
give it over
plan
here.
altogether.
Speaking of
You spoke too soon, bro.
blood rivals, it's me and Gooch this week in fantasy baseball. So good luck to you, my
I
friend.
am reeling.
I just heard blunt. That's all I heard.
I
Okay.
think he said blood.
Blood feud, not
I
blood
heard
feud.
blunt.
Same, I guess. When he was talking about my ears burning before, I was like, well, I might have been burning, but my ears were
I get it. All right. So crazy weekend that just went down. Obviously, before we get into the professional hockey, we'll get into the charity hockey. Myself and Gooch were on the call at the Club at Woodbridge. Nice facility, right? They really turned that place around. I mean, it used to be tennis courts, racquetball courts, all that stuff. I don't know how much it was being used anymore for tennis. I know tennis is a sport you like to play, and like Dr. Chuck likes to play. Guys that we know are tennis players, but maybe they figured, let's turn it into a hockey rink. We can get a lot more revenue over here. And I think they did, because the Woodbridge Wolfpack play over there. But we got to watch and call the Woodbridge Police Department lose to the Woodbridge Fire and EMS 13-10. And I know what you're thinking. Were there goalies with a 13-10 score? There was good goalie play at some points of this game. But again, these guys aren't pros. They're doing their best. It's a beer league type situation.
The question that the people have is, was there a fight? And yes, there actually
was
a
a
fight. There was a couple
fights.
fights. There was some bloodshed, and we know that they're friendly games and they're for charity. But at the end of the
can't.
day, it's a competition, and you have guys out there with testosterone going, and there's going to be some beef. What is happening?
We good over there?
We're good
We're
over
good
here.
over there. Okay. So
Sled hockey MVP checking in. TJ Radezjak.
okay. TJ's in there.
He just came up and
nice.
talked about it.
All
It was
right.
a brisk 10 degrees in there, I would say.
Yeah,
Right? It was pretty cold in there.
It was freezing. Yeah, this is my laptop, by the way.
Yeah,
that's
we're good
the
here.
stream
So
over
we're
there.
good.
My laptop.
Yeah, we're fine.
But TJ came in. I got a great video to post today on our social media. We're going to be chopping up the actual game footage, behind the scenes
Lot of
footage
footage.
with the game footage, with the actual TV 35 YouTube footage. We're going to put it all together. But you joining us, actually, our cameraman, our prestige cameraman, did a great job, by the way, of getting B-roll. And he came in there and found or caught one of the gems that I tried to make a dad joke. It failed miserably, and we'll put it on later. But anyway, great game, great cause, had a great time. We're welcome back for a second year, and I'm sure we'll be welcome back for a third year. I will recommend one thing for next year. Not to say that I want to do more work, because we already do a lot when we're there as far as prep.
Just have Dave do the PA,
for the love of God.
the intros. That was
I don't know
rough.
who that was, but and it's no offense to him. Maybe he's just not versed in doing it. But whoever did the announcements for the hockey players, bro, give me some juice. Give me some
get-go.
He was just like, next one.
Number.
I think I heard him
Basinger.
talking prior to the announcements. He was over on our side, And he was saying, like, I'm just mailing it in because I do this all the time and I get excited and then nobody reacts. So
But it was
okay.
That was his excuse.
Well, it was a packed house. There was a lot of standing room only. Was not a lie.
That
it
was
was
not a
standing
lie.
room only.
That was not a lie. It was a standing room only event. It was fun. We had a great time. And like I said, we'll be glad to keep doing it, spreading the word of Chop Sports within the community. Shout out to Officer Mike Harris, who literally won't let us walk by without screaming like, subscribe, Chop Sports. Sure. You know, like he's all over it. The Woodbridge Police Department and us. Where's the handshake emoji? You know, like, that's
it was a good game at this point though, because we just talked about hockey for the last 5-10 minutes,
and guess
now
what?
We actually have to talk about
what,
more hockey.
Yeah, but it was some good hockey last night, boys.
Man.
That place was nuts.
That's what you guys told me.
Speaking of incredible hockey games, we got to talk about my beloved New York Rangers, ladies and gents. A 4-3 overtime win in Game 7. The New York Rangers advance, and they put bitch-made Crosby on his ass one last time. And now Crosby has an entire offseason to think about what he's done to us in 7 games. He had a great series, don't get me wrong, one of the best players in the world. But you got to give your hat and tip your cap to the New York Rangers. Down 3-1. Everybody and their mother were writing this team off, saying, you know what, it's just not them. They're just too young. They are the youngest team in the playoffs right now. And just the experience factor, blah, blah, blah. Crosby doing his thing. Malkin still doing his thing. Guys like Marino over there, Pittsburgh. They've all played very good hockey over the course of however long. However, the New York Rangers, very, very resilient. And you just got that feeling that once this was going back to the Garden,
it was over.
You knew it was going to be one of these games. And look, the Rangers had trailed in every single one of these games. They've come back in every single one of these games. They trailed twice yesterday.
First time in Rangers history, Game 7, where they're losing in the third quarter and they win.
Third period. But yeah, he knew. But anyway, so yes, the Rangers, Panarin scores the game-winning goal after being ice cold, man. Yeah. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying, like, he's not bringing it, all this, all the hype about Panarin, and it just wasn't happening, blah, blah, blah. He hits the game-winning goal, and it's amazing.
Shot at
Rangers and Mav winning is Dave highlights for the year because the Dallas Cowboys are just waiting to happen. Ryan is he's a Jets fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't even have to say anything. I don't have to say anything. For anybody to talk shit to me as a Jets fan, it's just silly nonsense. Because that's funny. I actually used that. I was at my dad's for the first period. It got crazy, a little intense, and I yelled for one of the goals. And of course, Stella, my daughter, who's not even 3, just did the whole like didn't know why Dad just got up and yelled. So I got up and I said, look, Dad yelled. I think it was when they let up a goal, right? And I said, Dad yelled because the Rangers were being silly. That's what I said. I used the word silly, and my bonus mom and my dad are just like, man, all the obscenities he just yelled 4 minutes prior to this, and he cleans it up now for the explanation. But anyway, it was a great game. And speaking of brand new Ranger fans, we have inherited Scoop. We have turned Scoop into the fraud that he is, and he's telling us straight up that he's a fraud. He used to be a Devils fan, and he's coming over to the good side, and he's going to become a Rangers fan now. And I don't usually condone this shit, and I still kind of don't condone this shit, but that's what he's doing. And he says he's been paying more attention to the Rangers.
All I've been hearing from people my whole life is how passionate hockey fans are. Some passion out of you, Scoop. Passionate, my ass. Come on.
Oh, man. So, what?
Who am I to question Scoop's fanhood? Have at it, baby.
Yeah, so I'm not going to question this one because we are welcoming a brand new fan. My boy Kevin's coming in. What did he say? Pull that up.
That's the thing. Trailed by 2 goals almost every game and had the resiliency to overcome the momentum and get the shift.
Yeah, Kevin. Listen, Kevin. By the way, we missed. He was I can't even say.
I tried to announce it in the beginning of the game, but I had a couple hiccups. I was like, "What are they called, Dave? Starters or linesmen?" You remember that?
First line?
Very first line. You sent it to me in the telecast for YouTube for the NJ35 or whatever, and I botched it. So my bad, Kev. This is my formal apology to you directly.
First team in NHL history to come back in 3 straight elimination games to win a series, according to TJ. Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's something about this team. You don't want to get too crazy. I know Sam Grasso came in yesterday in one of my posts on the Facebook group, said this team can hoist the cup. And I'm like, can we all just pump the goddamn brakes?
I mean, you win a series.
You get excited.
In the
I get it.
playoffs and you get some momentum.
Sure.
Why shouldn't you think that?
Sure. And you know what? And the fact that they're now one of 8 teams left in the entire thing.
The year
you know
that
what
the
I mean?
Rangers
Like, that's a
went,
big thing.
the year the Rangers went to the Cup and lost, I don't think anybody had them going to the Cup that year.
They were a good team. I like their coach better than I like this coach. This coach kind of bothers me. Kind of reminds me of like an old like Cousin Eddie from like the National Lampoon Vacation movies. He's just like a dopey doofus looking dude. I mean, he's a great coach, has a lot of experience. I just like Tortorella was my guy, and he made sure guys were diving in front of pucks all the time to play some defense. That's what I was most worried about, is that all the goals that Igor had let up yesterday, I questioned the defense. And then in the third period, if you're watching it and the people are watching it at home, the Rangers were flat, man. And I was worried. I kept, me and my brother text pretty much the entire game. And I'm like, dude, they look flat. He's like, we need a shorthanded goal. Next thing you know, the Penguins do a shorthanded goal. And I'm like, oh my God. You know what a shorthanded goal is?
Yeah. Dave.
Okay.
This guy still had like over 40 saves.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
every game, bro.
Igor,
phenomenal.
And shout out to Freezing Cold Takes on, I know you saw my tweet yesterday. Freezing Cold Takes always find somebody who just completely blows it and they'll bring it back up. So a guy came out there and said, Igor, after the Rangers beat the Penguins for the last time in the regular season, Igor was waving.
The wave goodbye thing,
and he's like, we don't celebrate regular season wins. We celebrate cups. And then obviously he gets exposed, and I retweeted that as well. So what was that say, Scoop? Send more.
I don't even want to go there, bro.
I don't even want to bring it up.
Scoop, there's no unsend button in the YouTube.
I'll show you after the show.
In the YouTube chat, you got to do better.
He wrote something wrong. And
he had a little bit of an autocorrect issue.
Okay, I won't even look at it. I won't even look at
what it was saying.
Autocorrect is the Devils. Scoop. Anyway, so the Rangers win another Game 7 last night. Unfortunately, for one Dallas City, as they lose in 7 games. The Dallas Stars got eliminated last night late in overtime. Game 7, same shit, weird. But yeah, I'm excited, man. MSG was rocking. Game 1 goes down on Wednesday night. The series. This is playing into my hands here.
What channel was that game on?
TBS.
MSG.
No, it was on TBS.
It was on both. They have both.
I didn't know.
The first round is both local coverage and
national
coverage. Now MSG loses it. So no more Sam Rosen, which is
horrible
because his call was legendary.
I'm not asking about
yesterday.
the Rangers game. I'm asking about the other game.
What other game?
The other Game 7 that I didn't know existed.
ESPN.
Oh, probably one of the national broadcasts. I mean, it came on. It was late. It was Dallas start, and I think we're in Calgary.
It was in Calgary, yeah.
So I don't know if they're all the way to the west side of.
My
Canada.
Calgary Flames advanced.
Your Tampa Bay Lightning advanced too, and they're going to be playing the Florida Panthers. So we should see that. Oh boy, don't do that. Not yet. We'll do it in a little bit.
Fans in Calgary, bro. I was like, whoa, like all the red there, and you're like, all right.
That's the birthplace of
it's
hockey,
true, man.
Canada. As much as we don't want to give them credit for it, that is the birthplace of hockey, and those fans were out of control as well. But unfortunately, like I said, the Dallas Stars will not be moving on to the second round, but the Rangers will. And that series starts Wednesday night, Game 1. It's playing beautifully, by the way. Wednesday night, Game 1. Game 2 on a Friday night. I mean, guys, I'm talking to you, Steeler. I'm talking to Dan Sobey. I'm talking to Christian Padena. I'm Christian. All these Ranger fans out there that want to get together and watch a game. Wednesday, Friday, come on, baby. And then Sunday, Monday, we might have to cancel the show because, look, Sunday we're going into the Bronx for a Yankee tailgate. So if you want to get involved with that, we're doing last call on tickets for that. Gooch is going to hook that up. But the Rangers are playing Game 3 of this series at 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Oh, so we'll have our phone.
Not even that, bro. There's 17 bars right below us.
It's a night game.
No.
The Yankee game's a night game.
Baseball game's a night game. I'm like,
are we going to be awake at night?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm like, my liver going to be able to handle this shit? I barely handle
tailgating and eating. I don't even know what we're.
I don't drink. We will have some
great can't grill. Content. So I'm thinking about. I don't even know.
No, you can't grill it at Yankee Stadium anymore at all. Anyway.
TJ is going to the game at the Garden. I will be in New York for that game as well. So I think I'm going to go. I think it was Billy's, not Stan's. I said Stan's for some reason, but Billy's is the place to be. We went there last time, bro. That place is rocking. And imagine putting the Ranger game on in an environment like that. That place is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this series. And the Rangers, like I said, you're guaranteed 4 more games of stress. I did the old Big Daddy last night when they scored that game-winning goal. Like, everybody was sleeping in my house. So, like, the score, like, Rose is like, score. I'm like, right? And I'm just, like, by myself. And, like, Steph comes down. She's like, is everything all right? I was like, yeah. She's like, I heard squeaking. And I was like, that was me squealing internally. I couldn't handle myself last night.
Scuba Steve.
Oh, yeah. Scuba Steve, damn you. Let's go Rangers. What? I know. He's been there for a while, but you know what? I got to hold on. Getting into more things. But you know what? I tell you right now. I tell you what the Rangers aren't worried about. they're not worried about losing money in retirement. That's for damn sure. Because if they are, they can go to a man named Michael Fusco. Fusco Agency right here, baby. Insurance, retirement, wealth planning. He's the guy. Stop worrying. Start planning. A comprehensive retirement plan gives you security and greater control over your money. Michael Fusco can help. As President Fusco Insurance Agency, Michael will work with you to create a comprehensive retirement plan. He'll explore using life insurance and annuities to help you build a more secure future so you can worry less now. Call 718-701-5787 to schedule your complimentary consultation. That's 718-701-5787. Guarantees and protections are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company. Some insurance policies are not available in all states. Shout out to Michael Fusco, who, again, open invite, bro. Get your ass over to our barbecue at the end of June. We would love to meet you in person and have you set up a table and give everybody life insurance and shit. So I think we're all going to need it, actually. If anything happens during any of the sporting events and somebody goes down and dies, you know, that we're going to need some life insurance, basically using annuities and all that other stuff that I just read. So anyway,
so that's me.
Now here's the problem. Now I'm talking about even Sunday, the Yankee game, and I'm talking about the June 26th barbecue. What if it's like 95 degrees and we're starting to sweat our balls off? What happens then?
It's a rough situation down there. It is swamp ass season. So what you do is you head on over to manscaped.com and you use the promo code SHOPSPORTS. You receive 20% off your entire order and free shipping worldwide. You not have the graphic?
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we. Oh.
It's up on mine.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. So what we got here is the
That's fun.
Ultra Smooth Package 2.0. What you do is you grab your Lawnmower 4.0, the trusty 400K LED light, and you get a nice close trim down to your balls. And then what you do is you take out that crop shaver, and it was designed for shaving the groin area with confidence. The razor has 3 precision blades, include extra wide lubricating strips. We all love that lube. And a pivoting head for ultimate groin and grooming experience. Also has the crop gel and it has the crop exfoliator. I'm sure you could use your imagination on what you're supposed to do. We all want to exfoliate our crops before we eat them. So exfoliate your crops. Use that little handy dandy, nubby little triple blade with the micro pivoting head and go over to manscaped.com. Promo code CHOPSPORTS, receive 20% off. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, I don't know. My computer,
what's happening?
My computer is just a little off or something. I don't know. Hey, listen, before we get into topic number 2, we're going to bring in a fan of ours, Isaiah, my man. What is going on, my friend? How are you this morning? How you doing?
I'm back again. I'm back again.
There we go.
All right. Good morning to you, bro. What do you got there? Are you taking a picture of you being on it? Is that what we're doing? Do you want to flex or something? Or you want to get in on this? So what's up, bro? How was your weekend, man?
Good.
Did you watch the Yankees?
You said I'm playing Nintendo Switch.
Oh, you're playing Nintendo
He's
Switch.
Literally calling in and big timing us. And he's like, yo, I'm going to call in. You guys got any questions? I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to finish my Donkey Kong game.
Wow. All right. Hey, listen.
What game you playing?
Yeah, what game you playing, bro?
WWE 2K18.
My man.
WWE 2K. Wait, 2K18?
Yeah, he's back, Nobody
W.
really likes
We gotta get you an
2021.
upgrade here.
Maybe you updated the roster.
Listen. All right. You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now, Isaiah. Okay? Isaiah, shoot me an email, davechopsports@gmail.com. Okay? What I'm going to get you is I'm going to get you a copy of the brand new one. All right? For watching the show and supporting the show. I'm going to get you a brand new one for your Nintendo Switch. Okay?
Yep.
All right.
So
you email us. 2K22 is the new one?
Yeah, just came out.
2K22 on the house on Chop Sports for being a listener. Okay?
We appreciate you, bud.
You're the man, brother.
Shoot us
all
a
right?
message.
Shoot us a message and we'll talk to you next time.
Repeat that email for him.
It's davechopsports@gmail.com. All right?
There we
All
go.
right. Look at that.
There
Just
we
spending
go.
money that I don't have. That's okay. Listen, we're for the people here, man. And Isaiah's one of our guys. Butt crack snack, chain jungle. Just going back to the comments right here. Chris, if you're not going into the game, I will come tailgate and bring a laptop. We can watch Suns Mavericks game 3 in Dallas parking lot. Bro, like, what the hell?
He's saying if you're too drunk to go in the game.
Oh, well,
look at Kyle. Look at Kyle.
Yo, Kyle, man of the people. This money goes towards Isaiah's new game.
I
So,
appreciate
look, we're
you, Sauce.
splitting that, baby.
And
That's
yes,
great.
dude, we'll talk after this show because I had a conversation last week on the show saying I might not even end up in the game.
You're crazy.
That happens sometimes.
It's
so,
Sunday Night Baseball, baby. We gotta go. We gotta go.
What
gotta
happens
go.
when I go in the game is I barely get to watch the game and I watch it on the fucking Jumbotron anyway.
Ryan's coming and saying he needs a new kitchen sink. Well, You know what? Send me an email and I'll give you a contractor that you could talk to, and then he'll do it. My Uncle Billy would do a fantastic bang-up job. He built this desk. He can get you a brand new sink, okay? And I can't pay
Payne
for that.
wants MLB the show.
Here come the request, bro. Listen, guys, I'm not sitting around like I'm made of money, all right? So everybody calm down. Just I don't want to miss playoff basketball. Kyle, listen, what time's that start? I'm assuming 7, or is that in the afternoon?
It's which?
The basketball game's at 3:30, he said. So we'll be out there watching.
Oh, we'll be out there watching, dude.
Yeah, the games at ESPN.
We're going to a bar to watch the game.
Sunday Night Baseball.
Maybe it's
the
not at
Yankee game.
3:30.
But there might be
Dallas
a
game
night game on
3.
as well.
No, it's only 2 series left. Oh, if it's 8
He said
o'clock,
8
then
o'clock,
that's another.
We'll figure it out.
That's
We'll
a whole
make
other
it.
issue.
We'll have a chat, buddy.
But we're talking NBA playoffs, ladies and gents. And speaking of game 7s, we had a bunch of them yesterday. Not just the Rangers advancing, but now the Boston Celtics doing work against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is just defeating to the point where I'm left speechless, because obviously I picked the Bucks to repeat. Did I not?
Both you guys did.
Not
to repeat, but to go to the final.
represent
You picked
the
them.
East.
I picked them to win the
We
damn
picked
thing.
Suns and Bucks both.
Both
We
of
had
us
different
did.
winners.
Yeah, both in game 6.
And both are bye-bye. So this one, we start with this one. I go to my old stat sheet here. Giannis obviously plays his ass off again, but it's just Giannis. And but there were other guys. Drew Holiday had himself a game. Brooke Lopez contributed big. I got to ask, this game, I watched a lot of the Dallas game. Well, not much of a game to watch, but as far as this one is concerned, was this ever close? Because obviously I was
it got within 10 midway through the third.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyle had been talking about this the entire postseason and a little bit prior to that, and it was Milwaukee's 3-point defense. Their perimeter defense was just non-existent. They were just one step too late on every single extra pass, and Boston did a great job in transition, setting up open buckets. They really just controlled the game through and through. They got, like I said, they got within 10, I think 2 or 3 times in the third quarter, but then just gave up big threes after big three, and it would go back up to 13, then 16. They'd fight back a little bit, but just too much, man. There's 2 stars on that team.
To start the fourth quarter, the Bucks were shooting 4 from 25 from 3. Put it to you that way.
So they were just missing left and right. But
they got Tatum in
I got to
trouble.
give it up to the Boston defense to hold the Bucks to 81 points.
Yep.
I mean, come on. I know it's missing shots and everything, but there got to be some challenges. You know what I mean? Some challenge shots for them to just score 81 in a game 7.
Bad turnovers in bad spots. They didn't have. I think even Boston might have had more turnovers than the Bucks did in the entire game, or at least very close. You wouldn't notice it. But points off turnovers all went to the Celtics, and just the time of the turnovers when you're down 10 and you get the possession back. And then you just have a bad pass by Drew Holiday out of bounds for no reason. Thought the ref was a player. You can't have those mistakes in the third quarter.
They had
in a game 7.
Tatum had 3 fouls, like to end the.
I saw you tweet that. There was a foul trouble early.
And Giannis went off in the first half.
Yeah, bro. There was a point in like the third, fourth quarter for like 4 or 5 minutes where number 11 from the Celtics, what was his name? Pritchard, white dude. Oh my, just hitting threes, bro. The crowd was going
big
crazy.
Time stat out of Kyle here. It says Bucks hit 4 threes. The Celtics hit 22.
Yeah,
that's
man.
a 54-point difference from the 3-point line. And thank you, Chris Payne, for your super sticker.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
can sit
Appreciate
there and
you,
break
brother.
down all you'd like, and you could say this player might have helped or that player may have helped. But in a game like that, where you get outscored 54 points from behind the arc, that's the answer. We could break it down all we want. That's what it is. Middleton didn't matter. Nobody would have mattered in this one.
It's a lot of defense, man. We've been talking about this with Celtics since the playoffs started. That they had to be the best defensive team in the playoffs.
Well, we're going to see a dog fight now.
Bro, tomorrow,
I can't wait for that.
Tomorrow
series.
on the show, we will be breaking down both conference championship rounds. We don't want to dive too far into that today because, again, we want to save it for tomorrow. The games actually start tomorrow. According to Scoop, we're actually doing a top 5 per position going to next season on the Cross Court Cast tonight. So they're going to record that, drop that tomorrow morning. Maybe he could send me a list of it and we can go over it tomorrow and we'll debate that as well. Kyle wants to be a guest, so hook that up. It's literally this StreamYard. We use as our account. So anyway, Celtics move on. They'll be playing the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just can't believe. And shout out to Giannis for making an excuse. Like both now, all of a sudden, Embiid, Giannis, all these guys are making excuses. If you go to the coaching staff, they're going to say, we got to be better. We got to do a lot of coach speak, and that's fine. That's all expected. But for him to come out there and say, if Middleton was playing, it would be a different series. No shit.
I got
like for you to say that, it's like
I got to hear the context because he may have been speaking for 2 or 3 minutes on the subject and have said that, but there could have been the obvious player speak attached to it that they didn't attach to this quote. If you get what I'm saying, where I'm sure he said
yes.
we didn't do. I'm sure he said all the right things, but also said that, and they were like, "Oh, he said that too. Fuck that. We're keeping
pull that.
one."
Media has a problem with pulling shit.
But like a month ago on the show, I said that the Bucks had nobody but Giannis, and I got shit on. They were winning this series 3-2. Okay, so what does that say about Giannis taking over the series,
or your comment being that
no, not my comment. No, my comment means nothing. I'm just saying, like, just reading that the Celtics just came back and took 3 games from them.
I think it says,
I say this about Luka all the time.
I think it says more about the Celtics stars at this point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're
Yeah,
elevating their game,
dudes.
and if anybody had Jason Tatum outside their top 10, now you have to strongly consider him in your top 5. He just dethroned KD. Now I understand the Nets were a little bit of a shell of themselves because they weren't full strength.
Okay,
and then he took out the defending champion Giannis. So he's slaying legends right now on his way to Eastern Conference Finals.
Think about that.
Jaylen Brown is no slouch, right? He's a legit star too. But Jason Tatum is that guy.
He just took Kyrie, KD, Giannis, and now he gets Jimmy in the Heat. Woo!
You think Kyrie gets the extension that everybody's talking about? I know it's like off
Nike's not even giving him shoes anymore.
Well,
he'll go to Adidas and Harper.
Besides that, as far as from a basketball standpoint, I'm not sure.
That's right. It's it's very weird.
The Nets have some decisions to make. There.
Listen, I'm not about to sit there and beat the Nets over the head already. They got swept out of the series. They're done, right? They're a joke.
Well, Kyrie has an opt-in year.
I don't think it has anything to do with the opt-in year. I'm not sure. The way I know is the Nets control it. So I think it's a Nets option, right? Because look, all of a sudden, you had a team that was stacked with Harden, why can't I just think of the guy's name? We just talked about Harden, KD, and now Kyrie. And all of a sudden, within like a calendar year, it's just gone, just up in smoke.
Sure,
literally,
man.
all 3 of them. There might be one guy left on that team.
I think there was writing on
and
the
he
wall
don't want to be
before
there,
it even started. When you do these things, a lot of these things don't work out long term.
Crazy.
KD went to the Warriors. You thought maybe that would be a dynasty. He left immediately too. It's just the way it goes. When you have that many stars,
he was winning over there.
You have that many stars in one environment. Things tend to bubble over. KD and Draymond did not get along at all.
Okay. AJ Bascone joining the party saying, is this coming from the same guy that says Spoelstra's not a top 3 coach? Hey, look.
What's his argument there? I don't understand.
No, he's saying that, you say that there's only Giannis, and then that was proved false.
I think AJ was the one that
extent.
made the biggest stink about saying that. He's a Bucks defender. He actually has a Bucks and 6 shirt that he made last year.
Well, you could use it to wash my car windows today if you'd like.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, we'll preview the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow. And we'll obviously need you, Kyle. We'll need you, AJ. We'll need all you guys tomorrow to talk Eastern Conference Finals.
That's a good point, though. I want to bring up Kyle's last point where he's talking about
that's on here.
Yeah, isn't it dope that all the free agency built elite teams are gone from the postseason? All remaining teams are, for the most part, built organically, good for the NBA. I agree. It's definitely great for the NBA. I don't think it's going to matter to any potential star.
No.
When it comes time to get his bag, though, he's going to want to go where he wants to go.
You know. But I talked to you about before the show. Like, look at the Celtics. The year they drafted Tatum in 2018, they had the first pick in the draft, traded it to the Sixers, so the Sixers
and they got Tatum third anyway.
And they got Tatum third anyway. And the Lakers and the Sixers passed up on him.
Danny Ainge gave them. He's gone out of Boston now. He stepped down.
Yeah, he's not there no more.
Yeah, it's
the final gift was Tatum. That was just a beautiful move by him.
Now I bring this question up as we move on to the next game with Dallas advancing and taking out the Suns. We talk about Tatum being that good, but then before that we talked about Booker being elite. Who would you take there, Tatum or Booker?
Tatum. I said that prior too.
Yeah.
That's not even.
Okay.
That's not a debate.
Curious, but
I think Tatum's length and what he does defensively is just another level compared.
Big boy mentality here. As I picked this one, I 1000% picked this one, and I said that the Sun and the Mavs will go into Phoenix and get the job done. Now look. Kyle crushed it on his picks, okay? Yep. But I, again, decided to go beyond Kyle here and say, you know what? I got this feeling. Nobody's picked anybody off on the road. Luka's playing all world right now, and when he's not, they're still in games. So if Luka can just go out there and just play his normal game, I think they have a good goddamn shot of taking this one in Phoenix. And look, the rest is history. Look at this final score. 123.
It was over at halftime.
90. It was
bad at halftime.
Luka was tied with the Suns.
I'm fucking pissed off because I actually made
it was over at halftime,
but I didn't put the meme in. What? Luka and Booker have been beefing hard this whole series. There was a point in the series where I brought it up last week when Booker flopped and he laid down on the court. You brought it up this morning, but this was from last week. And he laid down, he kind of peeked up at the camera and he said that was the Luka special. And he was making fun of Luka for his flopping. Since that moment, I think Devin Booker has 30 points, and this is through 2 games, and Luka has like 78 or something like that. And the meme when they were down 30 and they had the score underneath them and they were standing at the free throw line next to each other, and Booker was just pissed off. You could see it in his face, and Luka looking up at him, smiling like, "What now, bro?" But only in Luka's voice, Luka's accent.
But yeah,
they hate each other.
Those
two guys don't like each other, and that's good for basketball.
When Luka left the game. Luka only finished the game at like 35.
Not only 35, but yeah, 35
you know what I mean?
points.
Yeah, he had 27 in the first half.
Brunson had 24. This is a complete team effort. The Suns just forgot. Like, where do we stand with Chris Paul right now? Like, Chris Paul, the topic of conversation on a lot of networks this morning was that Chris Paul, if this wasn't it, if this was the first seed, runaway, regular season champs, have you,
There's a couple things.
What do we say about Chris Paul's odds of winning a title ever?
They went down drastically right now, because we could talk about a little bit of what might be happening behind closed doors in Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton only played 17 minutes yesterday. And when Monty Williams was asked about it post game, he said there's an internal problem, but he wouldn't speak on what it was. I know Ayton is probably looking to get a big contract soon. To me, I think that he's the sum of all parts, and that's why he's playing as well as he has for this team. I don't think Ayton is the guy. I don't think Ayton is the guy that's ever going to be all NBA. I don't think he's going to be worth that major deal that the Suns will have to pay to keep him around. I could see Ayton on his way out. That could help if they're able to use that money and bring in a different guy. But I don't know, man. The Suns, you might even see Booker looking to leave soon. You know, because typically, if you look at the course of
down to the Garden,
if you look at the course of Chris Paul's career, teammates don't typically like playing with him.
Oh, listen,
we're talking about the Clippers situation.
Right,
you could talk about the Houston situation where Harden wanted him out. Now we could decide who's right or wrong there. We got a little bit of bot action.
Yeah, little botskis. I got you.
You got to tip your hat to Luka. Devin Booker, they had real beef. That's good for basketball. Ayton might be on his way out of town, and if he's not, there's some real turmoil. Regardless, Chris Paul is another year older. He managed to stay healthy throughout the playoffs, but that really didn't matter. Booker's injury, maybe that had a little bit to do with the way Phoenix played down the stretch. He may be more banged up than we thought. But forget about Phoenix. The Mavs did a great job. Let's talk about Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd, I watched this video this morning of how aggressive he is when he's coaching on the sidelines. Now, look, there's a lot of coaches out there that are prehistoric. You know, I'm sure Popovich isn't out there. And look, I know he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, but I'm sure Popovich isn't out there doing what Jason Kidd did. If you want to go look at my Twitter at Dave Sturgio, I retweeted this. Jason Kidd is literally a sixth man right now. He was on he's screaming at his guys on every single move they should be making on defense. An unbelievable job. To me, it's a different story. Like Steve Nash as the coach of the Brooklyn Nets with a bunch of those divas and shit like that, that's hard to do and hard to coach. But when you bring Jason Kidd in here with one solid MVP type player like Luka Doncic, and then you have the rest of these role players, that's an easier team to coach, and he really stepped it up.
Jason Kidd did a hell of a job.
To Jason Kidd.
We had some disparaging things, maybe a little bit. We maybe raised the question of whether the comments that Jason Kidd made after game 1 and game 2, talking like Luka's the only guy that did anything, we need other guys to step up. We thought maybe, I think it was you, Rob, that brought the question.
Sure.
Him calling out his players publicly, do you think that's a good look? Well, they responded, and the players must really respect Kidd because it's yes, sir, no, sir.
Yes, sir, no, sir.
The locker room
in the locker room, yep.
Jason Kidd's got a good, firm grasp on that team and that locker room, and they're playing well for him. I can't wait to see the Western Conference Finals now, because Kyle was even saying if Dallas could steal a game in Golden State, they're a real tough team to beat.
Hell yeah.
That's a winnable series for them. I think Golden State takes it, but I also thought Phoenix was going to walk through Dallas too. So you got to be careful.
We'll make our
here.
If you're the Phoenix Suns now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have 18 years of CP3, right, in the league. Now, we know what's going on with the Ayton situation. Now, do you sit down Booker and you kind of be like, what are you trying to do here? Do we Chris Paul's on his way out. We all know that, but he said he's going to play another year is what he said yesterday.
And he's not going anywhere unless they trade him.
He's not going anywhere unless he's traded. Yes. Or do we try to run it back with Aiden and we try to get you another piece? Or do we get rid of Aiden and try to get another piece and you get you one more year with CP3?
Interesting. So
what do you do?
Sun's got a lot of questions all of a sudden. You know, it's almost like, do we
trade
take old
Ayton
Yeller
for
in the back?
Luka? You think they could get rid of they could run back the draft and take Luka instead of Ayton?
Man, that's it. They wish they did.
I think they would probably do that. I think they would probably do that. I'm not sure.
I mean, Luka went out there and was like, maybe Luka was mad they didn't take him.
He did the Jordan, man. I took that personally. You know,
He
he went out there and
might've.
did his
I
thing.
mean, if you say might have been, he definitely was.
Oh,
I mean, we're
100%.
talking about
These guys
a
don't
competitor.
forget.
You can't forget that type
They
of
don't
shit.
forget. That guy, I know guys that have their like draft pick number like tattooed on their body.
Draymond Green can name every player drafted before him, and he was drafted like late second round. He can name every player drafted before him.
Oh,
I'm curious to
Kyle's
know-
bringing in a TMZ angle where he's saying
Booker
needs to break up with Kylie Jenner. Dating a Kardashian is like a cancer for an NBA career. Every NBA player falls off a cliff when they blast one of those.
Look what
chicks.
happened. And my guy in Dallas dated Miles Austin dated Kim Kardashian for about a cup of coffee. You never saw him again. So it's
Listen,
like these women are brutal.
I would date Caitlyn Jenner for a cup of coffee, bro.
For
I
a
mean,
cup of coffee.
put me on TV for 5 minutes.
All it
with one
takes
of
is a
them.
cup of coffee, Rob, and you could get Caitlyn Jenner. You just got to
Please.
give Rob
Wait,
a cup
isn't
of
Caitlyn
coffee.
Hey, could you be Caitlyn
Wait,
Jenner in a
isn't
race?
Caitlyn Rob?
Bruce.
Not Rob. Fucking,
Bruce.
Could I be Caitlyn
Bruce?
Jenner?
You think you could be Caitlyn in a race?
Not in a fucking.
he's an Olympian.
Was
She.
Whatever.
and now yes, I can.
Jenner
Stop.
was an Olympian. I'm not even about
Stop.
to touch
I'm
that
not.
shit.
I'm not gonna beat him in a decathlon. Her. Fuck you, both of you.
But no,
I
Put me
didn't
in
say-
this
that's why you
But
situation.
said- Call my name.
there is a thing though with every one of them women. You get involved with them, it's a wrap,
Yo,
dude.
man, you're getting crushed here on the comments, dude. Oh my god.
Ryan.
Anyway, that is
Moving
that
on.
is a solid
Basketball,
goal,
baby.
Solid goal. That
Oh
Ryan right
man,
Hey,
people are laughing.
You
Hey,
didn't call
listen,
Batman Bruce, did you?
and
You thought of him as Batman, right?
Oh my god, new show, Bruce and Rob.
It's Caitlyn and Rob, and it's Rob and Caitlyn. It would never be Bruce and Rob.
All right.
No,
all
but
right.
let's seriously.
All right.
Back to
back to,
Rob's
back to reality.
dead serious. by
Oh
the
my
way.
shit!
Saying
And like
anything for a
JoJo
dollar.
Cowboys. Wow, like this is just absolute. This is
Welcome
hey,
to
listen,
the show.
Welcome to the
ladies
show.
and gentlemen.
JoJo's the man, by the way. Anyway, let's move on to some football. Huh? We got one more
Yeah,
thing to talk about.
we got
A
it.
couple things right before we got onto the show.
I have to piss so bad.
I know.
So.
Right before I said I know, as if like I know, man.
I know. I've
You
been
got a
looking at
pulse on my penis?
Yeah, well, you know,
Hey,
it's like we cycle around the same time. We got to pee at the same time too. Anyway, Rob, I'm tweeting. Oh boy. All right, Bailey, go have at it.
hey.
Anyway,
follows.
right before we went live, one of Gooch's boys, Jair Alexander, gets a massive deal.
Massive.
Gets 4-year, $84 million, 21 a year. About $42 million will be paid to him by March. So Jair's getting paid. Congratulations to Jair.
I got a bunch of people talking shit already. Like, oh, good decision. You let your receiver go and you're signing the corner. Good luck. It's like, no, they
Who
tried.
said that?
Two people. I will not call them out.
No,
by
call
name.
them out
All
for
right,
stupidity.
Carlos, I don't think he's watching, but he's working right now. But he sent me a text talking shit like, why would you pay a corner and not your receiver? Good luck. People just have to understand what actually took place with the Devontae Adams thing. The Packers offered Devontae Adams the same contract the Raiders did. He chose to go elsewhere. So the consolation prize is the all-pro corner and the all-pro linebacker, and then Rasul Douglas.
All
New Jersey's
Well, look, I think it's going to be very hard to replace a guy like Devontae Adams, but defense looks great. The guys they drafted look good, so defense
What are
might
you
be
gonna do? It's
a
not-
good thing.
It's not like they were like Jair or
They're going to win
Devontae.
games 9-6.
They didn't make that choice. Devontae did.
Well, he wanted to go play with his boy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he
no,
wanted to
it
go.
wasn't. I'm not faulting him at
That
all for that.
said, highest paid deal ever given to a corner. It might be a little bit of an overpay, but as we all discussed,
Market.
time and time again, it's all
always
about
gonna
market
change.
value.
Mhm.
They gave Ramsey the $20 million.
Yeah,
They
you
gave-
can't go
they
to
gave
Jair
Denzel Ward 20.1 just to exceed, and they gave him 21. Jair.
Well, you can't look at Jair, and Jair's obviously knows his talent level. You can't go into that and say like, here's your new deal, here's our offer. It's lower than the last two guys that got it, but here's our.
It just
like, that's-
doesn't work
that's
that
a
way.
slap
When
in
you
the
have a
face.
guy
That's
that-
how it works.
If you have a guy that's in the conversation for the top 3 or best in the league at his position, when he
Right.
becomes eligible to get paid, he gets paid accordingly as if he's the best.
Well, listen, to be honest, I was looking at and this you're gonna be mad about this, but I was looking at the Lions depth chart yesterday.
Uh-oh.
So they kind of needed to pay him. Have you seen the Lions weapons this year?
Yeah, they have.
For real. Yeah, and look at his face. I knew you didn't.
There's no.
Jamison Williams, TJ Hawkinson, DJ Chalk,
Shark,
whatever, DeAndre Swift, and who was the other wide receiver?
St. Brown.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's not like it's not the same old Lions.
I'm gonna throw one name at you. Jared Goff is throwing in
but
the ball.
he can still throw them the ball.
Jared Goff
it's
has
not
played in
the
the Super
same
Bowl.
Lions.
He has played in a Super Bowl.
Okay. It wasn't on Jared Goff's arm.
Well, I'm just saying it won't. I don't think it's gonna. The Lions are gonna win 5 games, so I don't give a fuck.
It's not the same.
The
Lions
Lions against the Packers.
The Lions have had weapons since the dawn of time.
I think the Lions are gonna be
we
good.
talk about it. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Herman Moore. They had the best offense in football with Scott Mitchell throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So
And
the Lions have
that's why
always
they
had weapons.
stunk.
The Lions just always also haven't had playoff victories or playoff appearances or division titles or wins against Green Bay.
Calvin
So,
Johnson never
not
won a
really
playoff
worried
game,
about it.
ever. Anyway,
yeah.
one more football thing.
Also, Rob, fuck the Lions. They're not going to win.
I seen it
6
yesterday,
games.
and I was like, wow, like it's not this. It's not like it's not the same old Lions, but it's definitely.
You're looking at the
better.
Rams. You're looking at the Bucks. You're looking at the Cowboys. That's the teams that I think the Packers should be matching up with when it comes down to it. Teams that are going to win their division.
Humble. He's starting to come around. But anyway, more football news. Drew Brees makes headlines. What the hell is he doing, ladies and gentlemen? He's out on NBC. A rumor of a return. Now I bring this up to you guys, and I'm curious.
I have my take.
I'm curious.
It's completely
though,
an opinionated take. Though.
Is this a Jason Witten type situation where he just stunk and they're like, look, we got to do something with this guy?
It was
like,
one of the things that I said. It was so cringe last year just watching him. I understand it, and I'm not.
I didn't find him to be that bad.
I'm not here to talk shit about Drew Brees and how his mannerisms looked on TV and things like that because I'm somebody that's also going through the very same thing where I feel like sometimes I'm a little out of place, and that's just par for the course. He was new to it. But when you're paying somebody $25 million a year or something, which is what they were paying Drew Brees, an outstanding astronomical number, you can't have a guy learning on the job. He was so bad in the playoff game that he did last year that they booted him, and that was the final straw. Rob said something this morning.
Wait, was he in the booth?
He was in the booth for a game.
So he got booted because of one bad game?
It was really bad.
It was a playoff game. It was
Bengals
Raiders.
It's still Drew
But
Brees.
NBC doesn't have NFL other than Sunday Night
that's
Football.
all they have
there's
are
really no
those
room
games.
for him other than being as an analyst. That's a big payday for a guy that you can only use maybe once a week.
He's like AC Slater.
They offered him to Notre Dame. They offered him Notre Dame to do the Notre Dame games, and he supposedly turned it down.
He didn't even go to Notre Dame.
But that's NBC's affiliate. They don't have NBC only has Sunday Night Football. That's it.
So
So
listen,
now
you can't do this shit. Can you just go call up some college football?
So NBC was like, we're not going to let you hold us hostage. Saints hostage in the last 2 years of your career.
Ooh, burn.
So when now Drew Brees is doing is, and I would imagine there's a little bit of egg in Drew Brees' face. He's a proud guy. He's coming from a very successful background in almost anything he's ever done in life. And then he goes into this new venture and he falls flat.
I just want to bring up his tweet, but keep going.
You fall flat. Your next move at that point is to do what you know you're good at, right? Fall back on what you've got that's gotten you to this point. And in this case, that happens to be playing quarterback in the NFL. Drew Brees, while he's an all-time great, I think he's been overrated throughout his entire career.
Ooh,
personally.
interesting.
I've gone on record to say that a ton of times.
I agree. I honestly agree.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I
really
think Drew
do.
Brees has been slightly overrated, and I think that much like Big Ben looked last year with Pittsburgh was what you got out of Drew Brees. He was holding that team back. There is a 0% chance that the Saints kick the tires on a 41-year-old Drew Brees after they just paid Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Whether it's 1-year deal, 5-year deal, it doesn't matter. Jameis Winston is a much better quarterback in the NFL than Drew Brees right now.
Drew Brees showing a little personality in his latest tweet. He says, quote, despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. So all of a sudden it's like,
well, might take the Notre Dame job.
I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. Tongue twister. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, or coach my kids, or all the above. I'll let you know. So look, the ball's in his court. Really, technically, he's not like NBC's not like, look, man, you stink. We can't use you. Goodbye. Like according to you, they already gave him a secondary. They
offered him.
They offered him his position. So what I think, or my question to you guys is Drew Brees a top 32 quarterback right now? Can he start in the NFL?
He will
right
start
now?
somewhere, but I don't think that he.
Is there a landing spot for him?
Is Drew Brees going to come in there willing to take a very, very small dollar amount to go play somewhere?
I'm curious about that.
They gave Jay Cutler $10 million to play 1 year.
That's a small dollar amount.
They're not going to give Drew.
Remember that?
They're not going to give Drew. Drew Brees going to get like 15 to go to Seattle.
Well, that's my point. A small dollar amount. Maybe I kick the tires on Drew Brees to come in there and be like a quarterback's coach / quarterback. But no, I'm not paying Drew Brees $20 million or even.
He was.
15.
Listen, Scoop came in. He was absolutely brutal in his last year, and he was hampering the Saints' offense. a 1 year removed, 1 year not taking any hits. I don't know.
Now my point is, can he start over 3 or 4 guys? Yes, but is that if you
What does
bring
that
in
say
Drew
to your
Brees, if you're
guys?
bringing in Drew Brees to be the 26th best quarterback in football,
Yeah.
that to me that's not worth it. You're stunting the development of
But do you
somebody
think
else.
any
Agree.
team? Do you think any teams right now in the NFL are a quarterback away?
Yeah, but Drew Brees, but the 26th best quarterback isn't the quarterback that they are.
I'll
away.
rephrase. Do you think there's any teams in
It's
the
Drew Brees
NFL
away.
that are a Drew Brees away?
No,
Like
not any,
Seattle lost Russ.
not any team that
Seattle lost Russ. They still have
best case
DK,
scenario.
Lockett.
Best case scenario is if the Saints lose Jameis Winston to an injury, then you could bring in Drew Brees to a system that he already knows. Or if an already established quarterback goes down and then you want to bring in a veteran quarterback to kind of right the ship while he gets healthy, that's a situation for Drew
I'm
Brees.
very curious to know if any team takes a chance on Drew Brees to compete to start at quarterback. Like
Now-
right now, you would have to do it right now because training camp starts in July. So like you got to bring him in now. You got to catch him up to speed with the
Future
playbook.
first
And
ballot
let's see if
happen.
he can beat
It's
anybody else.
It's tough to bring in a future first ballot Hall of Famer and ask him to compete.
And he's 41, right? 41.
But here's the thing: it's not tough because the guy retired. So
I'm
he
not
wants to come back all of a
I'm
sudden.
not
You got to do
saying-
something.
I'm not
with it.
saying that that's not how it should go. As far as the way football works, yeah, you got to go out there and win your job. But when you're bringing in Drew Brees, you would have to imagine that Drew Brees is having that conversation. Like, am I going to start?
Yeah, facts.
'Cause I don't think
right.
Drew Brees wants
Yeah.
to go.
No,
hold
the
the
clipboard.
Well, you
clipboard.
got to swallow your pride here, man.
No
If you want to go play
way.
football right now,
And as a
you
team,
got to
and
swallow
if
your
we're
pride.
talking about what it's going to cost to bring him out of retirement, are you going to pay him $15 million to go compete? No, you want to pay your quarterback. That's you get what I'm saying. So he's going to have to take a very small
Well,
deal if that's going to be the case.
Here's my take on Drew Brees as far as like where I think he can go. What?
Dallas, if you can compete with that.
Oh, fuck off, Scoop. Stupid ass. If I had an opinion about where Drew Brees can land right now and literally compete to play in the NFL right now as a starter, there's multiple spots, actually. Carolina is sitting there with Sam Darnold. I don't know if that's even where they want to go with it, right? So he can come in there with Christian McCaffrey as a safety net, throw that ball to DJ Moore and guys that they have, huh? Well, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm talking about. They have the players and they have a good defense, right? So that's a good team. Then there's the Seattle Seahawks with Drew Lock, right? And what?
Carolina picked 6th.
I understand where they picked. I'm just saying their defense was not bad. They were like number 1 in the league last year before Dallas came in and beat them up. Like, so they had
Yeah, but
some
it was week 3.
talent. All right. In any event, Seattle, Drew Lock right now is the guy that they said, oh, we'll go with him. You're telling me Brees can't come in there and up big boy, like Drew Lock, you know, big man him. I'm like, dude, my
How
job. I'm
about
coming in.
where's he from, guys?
Yeah, I could
Louisiana.
I could
No.
totally
No.
see.
Lost.
I could totally
He's
see Drew
from
Brees,
Texas.
underthrowing
Who needs a
DK.
quarterback?
What about the Houston Texans?
Now, this is what will he go in there and start over Davis Mills? I don't think so. I think Davis Mills had a good job, did a good job
Dude,
last year.
come
What are we
on,
talking
come on.
about?
You
here?
don't think he would start over Davis Mills?
So
Come on.
for that team, you want to bring in Drew Brees to go
No,
play quarterback.
they've
in the
done
future.
nothing
point.
over there.
You understand?
So,
So,
like,
it's like it doesn't add up. If you're saying is he better than Davis Mills at this point, I'm saying maybe. I'm saying also probably not.
Well, Chris,
okay. Now, how about the Falcons? We have Mariota right now,
Same.
familiar with the division, can go play over there. Doesn't have a lot of weapons
I don't
outside of
think
Kyle
Drew
Pitts.
Brees could throw the ball 40 yards in air right now.
Look, he looked like shit in his last year. There's no mistake about it, right? We all know, we all saw the film, right? But like, I'm looking at Drew Brees right now as a kind of quarterback that you can bring in and him play serviceable football. And I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback. This guy's mind and talent and experience alone might put one of these teams over the top.
I think that what.
And when I say top, I mean like put them in from outside the playoffs to inside the playoffs.
I think the teams that we're talking about are in the midst of a rebuild, and bringing in a Drew Brees isn't the answer. You could say maybe a team like if Russ wasn't on Denver, that would be a team because like who are they? They're away and they're going to hand the ball off a lot anyway. Then you could be like, all right, Drew Brees, that might make some sense.
What about
But these other teams are bad. Atlanta's not going to win games with or without Drew Brees. So you're going to get a guy that's 41 to go get the shit kicked out of him. Think about week 10. Drew Brees is still the quarterback. He's going to be, I don't know if he'll make it.
here's why I think
What about
Houston.
the Giants?
No way. They would never do
Tyrod
it.
Taylor's better.
Here's why I would think Houston, and hear me out on this take. Here's why I think Houston Texan makes the runs at him, okay? Runs at him.
Gets cold fast.
Because One, he's from that area. Two, they just came off that Deshaun Watson huge scandal thing. This is good for the organization. It's good for media. Does he start over Davis Mills? I believe he 100% starts over Davis 100%. Mills. I understand what you're saying. It's not a good look for the team. It's not a good look for morale. It isn't 100%.
Also, does Drew Brees want to go there?
That's my point too.
He wants to play football. He'll go where they tell him.
I'm just saying for Houston's sake.
The tweet.
He's a hometown boy.
Clear. The tweet before this, in the same hour, was signing Landry and Tyrann Mathieu makes me want to come back and play again. Ooh, great additions. Leaders and players, and
then they fire him. He's like, "Hey, well,
yeah, I'd like to." First of all,
everybody was like this. That was the meme. It was the Sean Payton was like,
"Payton's not even there."
Like, oh, he's not in the front office at all.
No,
that's
completely gone.
Who's the owner? Meacham or Leach?
No, the defensive coordinator was.
How sad is it though that like
hired.
They think Chris Collinsworth's announcing
the
Drew Brees.
Chris Collinsworth is phenomenal, by the way. What? You don't like him because he has an annoying voice?
Who's one of the
smartest dudes to listen to?
Kyle or Rob?
Like, take away personality. He's amazing. What?
Who's the Saints GM?
It's the guy that keeps breaking the law as far as
but I want to know who he is because
concerned.
he's definitely got something up his sleeve every offseason.
There's no way you bring in Drew Brees. It's just,
I don't think he goes back there.
It's a silly thing, man.
Mickey Loomis.
I don't. What?
Mickey Loomis?
Yeah, that's the owner.
General manager Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis, executive vice president, general manager.
Yeah, the Bensons, I think, own.
You're right. Loomis just sounded like an owner. I don't know, but
he's been there since 2000.
In any event,
what does he sound like? A older white man?
Yes, so he sounds like an owner.
Mickey Loomis.
That's why he sounds like an owner. In any event, we'll find out what happens here with Drew Brees. Again, he's making headlines right now as we're in the middle of like rookie mini camps right now. So a lot of these teams are getting their rookies in the building. They're kind of surrounding themselves there. And you knew that Chop Sports couldn't do a show without talking about a little bit of football. Speaking of football, before we get out of here, I ran into somebody over the weekend at the gym. I was on the Stairmaster and I looked over to my right and there was Coach LaSalle of Woodbridge High School. Coach is well aware of your I can tackle anybody thing. Okay. He watched the show. He tuned in. I think we're going to set it up where we're going to put shoulder pads and full gear on Chris Gucci. And he's going to try to tackle a Woodbridge High School running back.
Now, I'm going to need waivers.
I don't know. You definitely need waivers.
Well, you're going to kill the kid?
No, for both of them.
Of course. I'm going to explain to you what this whole thing is about, right? Like, I'm okay with this, right? 100%. But I'm telling you right now that if you're bringing some fucking stud running back in, I'm going to do what I know how to do to tackle him.
So you're going to get dirty.
As if we're playing. Like, I'm not going out there to get embarrassed.
I'll do it
on national TV.
And if I'm going to get embarrassed, it's going to be with full effort to try and actually not be embarrassed. So we'll shake hands and everything, but I'm just going to be, you know how I get with this shit, right? I'm not there to make buddies with the Woodbridge running back is what I'll say.
Okay.
And I'm going low, bro.
Oh my God. What if he just runs around you?
So the object
is to tackle him.
No, hold on a second. First of all, now you understand within the past like 7 years of football, they're taught completely different how to tackle now. There is no. I'm just saying. So
I'm fine with all that. That has zero bearing on it. But what the rule is, it's not going to be an open field. I'm not like he's not going to
Oklahoma drill.
He's not going to catch a pass in the flat.
Oklahoma drill.
Pass in the flat.
No. Oklahoma drill.
Oklahoma. Bink. See what happens.
Sauce Network is officially taking bets.
Oh, we got Greco-Roman wrestling on Barbecue Day. Sauce is now going into this a negative 140, minus 140 favorite, as Scoop is the dog. So we'll see. We got a free play
in here.
All right, thanks, Toast. Watch this, ladies and gents. MLB free play, Rockies money line, plus 130. That's some plus money. Giants played Sunday Night Baseball and have to travel across the country. Is that really across the country? San Francisco to Colorado?
Well, they probably
maybe they play
on
somebody
the
else.
East Coast here this week and then have to travel.
Oh, you're right. Going back home. Congratulations to Dave. He's an idiot. Travel across country. Horrible spot to play the Rockies team who lost the game in the ninth after scoring 7 runs scoring 7 runs to take the lead.
Yeah, that was demoralizing. Brutal, yeah. A lot of weird things happened in baseball yesterday. Could we talk about the Cincinnati Reds losing a game where they had a combined no-hitter?
What a terrible. Only the 6th time
in baseball
on a fielder's choice.
The Reds pitched a no-hitter and lost.
First time since 2008, they said. I thought it was a longer time than that.
When it happened,
I
I
don't
don't think
either.
that ever
I'm like,
happened.
what?
I know that the Yankees lost. Andy Hawkins pitched a no-hitter, and they lost 4-0, I think, that game. And this was in like the late 80s. Andy
How the
Hawkins.
fuck do you score 4 runs?
Check it.
Oh,
4
boy.
runs.
Looks like TJ might be either talking to Ibby right now, but Ibanez will be at live at Citi Field tomorrow night, representing
Tometsu's
part at my Cop group outing. Unlimited beer. Wait, hold on. First of all, can I go? Give me unlimited beer. Coach Bud's at the game. Coach Bus to the game. 45 people. Great content, bro. Can somebody send me an invite? I'll be a Mets supporter for a day. Get me over there. I think that would be a phenomenal outing. Give me deets. I want in on that. But anyway, so that is a show, ladies and gents. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on a Monday. It was a wild weekend of Game 7s. All the Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals coverage will be right here on Chop Sports on the daily. Of course, you could listen to Scoop and his crew over at the Cross Court Cast. That'll drop on our podcast network, which we have, by the way. I don't know if everybody forgot about that, but we do have a podcast network, including that podcast, and we have the what was I saying? Till Mets Do Us Part, the Mets podcast, which is doing wonders. Matt Ibanez, John Sapanaro. The goddamn Jets have a podcast. They just broke down their schedule. Jersey Boys has a podcast, which is my podcast for the Cowboys, which we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks. Got to get those guys back on board. But we're just a busy
Got
group
the
over here.
Fight Factory today.
Fight Factory today. We're going to be talking all things WWE, AEW, also some UFC, MMA action went down, I think, over the weekend. Not too much.
A little bit.
Not great, but we'll talk about that later. You can subscribe to that channel as well, the Chop Sports Fight Factory channel. Also, if you're on Facebook, Rob created a brand new group for us to talk shit about wrestling. Go join that as well, the Fight Factory Facebook group. So for Sturch and Gooch, and of course, a big thanks to Wrestling Rob on the production. And of course, thank you, Rob, for all the B-roll that you gave us on Saturday for the game. I'm going to put together a nice little film ski on that one. And again, if you like the shirt, if you like any of the shirts that I'm going to be wearing this week, please go over to chopsports.shop. Yes, chopsports.shop under Chop. Chop Features? That's where they're at. There's this one, there's the Let's Rage, and there's also the Walking Dadism, which obviously, Kyle, that wouldn't apply. But all my dads out there, we're all Walking Dadisms. You'll see one on the socials later on today.
I've got to drain the main vein.
I'm so sorry for keeping you. You can get the hell out of here.
Let's do it.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow.